Roman Reigns and the Bloodline story took some more great twists and turns this week. So let's get to the bottom of everything we saw. The January 6th edition of SmackDown kicks off in a very similar fashion that Raw kicked off with. The Bloodline is out at ringside, just destroying everything in sight to showcase their dominance and power over WWE. Roman Reigns' music hits, and then he comes out to the ring with Paul Heyman, while the rest of the Bloodline members are already in the ring. Roman starts off by addressing the loss that he and Sami suffered at the hands of Kevin Owens and John Cena. Roman laughs at everyone who's going around saying that they lost. He said that he had to really sit back and reflect on the loss because losing isn't a normal thing to him and how it's not in his DNA. And coming out of the December 30th loss, we talked about how technically it was Roman's first straight-up loss in a match in nearly 3 years. And since it was his first loss in such a long time, and since Sami was the one to get pinned, Roman had to be furious about the entire situation. Well, this promo from Roman Reigns gave his exact reaction to the situation. Roman's argument was that he didn't lose and get pinned. It was Sami who lost and had his shoulders on the mat. So Roman said that they're moving on from the loss and putting it behind them because he technically didn't lose. But then Roman switches his gears back to being unsure of Sami's true intentions. This is something that Roman's character has really struggled with ever since Survivor Series. That was when Sami was caught lying to Jey Uso about talking to Kevin Owens. And that moment created this big conflict of Roman being unsure on if he can fully trust Sami Zayn or not. That led to Roman treating Sami very coldly during the War Games match. But when Sami had his big moment of attacking Kevin Owens and handing the win over to the Bloodline, Roman's suspicions were gone. But like we talked about before, that honeymoon phase after War Games wasn't gonna last forever. And as much as Roman tried brushing that tag team loss off, saying that it didn't matter, it looks like the loss is still getting to Roman both mentally and psychologically. It looks like he's quietly questioning if Sami threw the tag team match, just for the sake of embarrassing Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. So Roman picks back up from where he pretty much left off at before the War Games match took place. He starts off again questioning Sami's true intentions and asking Sami what it is that he's truly after. Roman asks Sami if he's trying to take his position as their tribal chief and lead the Bloodline. Roman said that when anyone is at a high position like the way he is, he always has to keep an eye on everyone around him because he knows how everyone is coming for his top spot. So he's once again suspicious of Sami Zayn and believes that's what Sami Zayn is truly after. He thinks Sami's trying to steal his spot. And Roman has a right to feel like that and question Sami Zayn about this topic because, like we've seen on Raw, Sami Zayn basically acts like the ringleader when Roman is not around. Whenever the Bloodline is on Raw, Sami is usually the one front and center of the group doing all the talking. So if Roman is sitting back at home and watching Sami lead the Bloodline whenever he's not around, of course he's going to be suspicious and feel a little threatened by that. So that's what he questions Sami Zayn about here and basically starts yelling at the top of his lungs at Sami Zayn with all these questions. But before things could go to the next level, Kevin Owens comes out and that calms everything down for the time being. Kevin Owens arrives with the official news that Kevin and Roman will meet at Royal Rumble for the undisputed Universal title. Kevin Owens says that he'll be ready to see Roman at the Rumble and says that he'll see Sami Zayn once he decides to dig himself out of Roman's pocket. That segment comes to a close, and Sami Zayn is basically locked out of the Bloodline's locker room for the rest of the night. We see the look on the Bloodline's members' faces as they walk past Sami Zayn to get to the locker room. Their faces seem genuinely sad for Sami, but they know Roman calls the shots and they can't question a single thing, or even think about questioning it. But right before the main event, Roman calls for Paul Heyman to get Sami Zayn. Sami comes into the room and immediately starts begging Roman Reigns for forgiveness about everything. But Roman flips the script on Sami. He says he doesn't accept Sami's apology because he should be the one apologizing to Sami. Roman apologizes to Sami Zayn for how he spoke to him out there earlier in the night and said that no one deserves to be treated like that. They quickly make up and get back on the same page. Roman and Paul Heyman even give Sami Zayn another golden opportunity to redeem himself and once again prove his worth to Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. They said that Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn will take place next week on SmackDown. And considering Sami's current shaky status with the Bloodline, this is a very high-stakes match. Sami tries to head out to ringside for Jimmy and Jay's match, but Roman pulls him back and invites Sami to watch the match right in the locker room with him and Paul Heyman. And if it isn't clear by now, everything we saw go down with Roman scolding Sami Zayn at the start of the show, to Roman making up with him and having a good time eating popcorn, was all predetermined by Roman Reigns' character. Although Roman is playing it off as something he didn't mean to say or do, this was all part of the plan since the very beginning of the night. Roman is playing Sami Zayn like an absolute puppet. The amount of gaslighting, manipulation, and just overall decisiveness that Roman Reigns is putting Sami Zayn through is all being done on purpose as a part of his master plan to get exactly what he wants. And what does Roman Reigns want? Well, he wants Sami Zayn to take out Kevin Owens for him before Royal Rumble, so that Roman wouldn't have to face Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble. That's exactly what Roman's grand scheme is at the moment. That's why Roman put Sami Zayn through that big scare to open up SmackDown, to put him right on the edge of thinking that he was out of the Bloodline. But then, Roman deceives Sami Zayn again with an apology and how much he's sorry. Roman did all of this to have Sami Zayn even more in the palm of his hand, and give Sami Zayn that extra motivation to really take care of Kevin Owens for him. Roman figured if he scared Sami Zayn, but then gave him that opportunity to redeem himself, he'll ultimately get what he wants by using Sami Zayn, and basically psychologically abusing Sami in the process as well. He just wants to break Sami Zayn and always have him so scared and unsure about when Roman will strike on him, that Sami will basically become a lapdog that will do whatever Roman asks. If Roman's plan goes perfectly fine, then there'll be no conflict. But this is WWE and storytelling, so there's always going to be conflict involved. The conflict here will pop up when Sami Zayn is most likely unable to take out Kevin Owens for Roman Reigns. And that may result in Roman Reigns truly finding Sami Zayn to now be completely useless to him and finally kicking Sami Zayn out of the Bloodline once and for all. So don't be mistaken and don't fall for Roman's manipulative ways. He's not cool with Sami Zayn at the moment. He's simply using Sami as much as he can to turn Sami against his best friend in order to protect his own title reign. That's exactly what's going on here, and it's obviously an extreme selfish plan from the Roman Reigns character. So that's what's really going on here within this story's reality. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.